So we have a brand new data mine from the Drizzle season, and it has some very exciting implications for the future of Splatoon 3, in fact the very near future too. As it seems like almost for definite now, Special Splatfest will be returning to Splatoon 3, including some brand new additions too. We started to see data mines indicating this in the Sizzle season update, and of course we have gotten the Deep Cut Splatfest, which is technically the first special Splatfest in the game, at least it's indicated as so in the code of the game, and it has some special attributes like the extra 10 times battles and such. But it seems like we're getting the rest as well. That includes things like Splatoween, the Frosty Fest, and even the Spring Fest too. Something we've all been waiting to see in Splatoon 3. Except this time around it might actually be a little bit different. This data mine was shared by Assasasa98765 and Oatmeal Dome, and they basically shared 5 special Splatfest types which were discovered within the code of the game. The first was designated as Odin, which is actually for the game's first anniversary, so the Deep Cut Splatfest is officially our first special Splatfest in Splatoon 3. But now onto stuff we didn't know about. Next is one designated as Maple, which is highly likely to be a special Splatfest taking place this autumn. Now keep in mind these are just code names, so it doesn't necessarily indicate the content we could get. This definitely still could be Splatoween, and I doubt if it was Splatoween, Nintendo would overtly say so in the code. They would definitely use some sort of code name like Maple. But it does potentially mean, in my opinion, that it could be something different. Maybe Nintendo won't be repeating Splatoween in this game, and might instead want to do a more general Autumn Splatfest, which could be really cool too. Now, if this special Splatfest is to happen sometime in October, then they would need to release another update, I believe, to actually make it work, as all of the files for these Splatfests aren't there yet. But we've seen them do exactly this for Splatfest before. For example, they did it very recently with the Zelda Splatfest, adding in the Zelda map right at the last minute to keep it a surprise from data miners. And of course, we are guaranteed the mid-season balance update patch sometime in the middle of October, so if this Maple special Splatfest was happening around that time, it'd be the perfect time to introduce the files for it. And I really doubt they would be saving these for year 3 of the game, honestly, since by that point updates would actually be winding down. And like I said, generally Nintendo likes to hide stuff, so I don't feel like they would have any evidence of this at all in the files of the game if it wasn't close to actually releasing, which makes this all the more exciting. Personally, I would much prefer if this was actually Splatoween. That would be the ideal situation in my opinion, but if it's something new, maybe just a more general Autumn Splatfest with special attributes and a special hub world and such like we saw for Splatoween, I would still be very happy personally, although I definitely hope that it is Splatoween because that's the absolute coolest one. But that is just one that was discovered. There are so many more, and this is where it starts to get really interesting. Next, we would have Stove. Now this name is a little bit more vague, but I would take this to assume it is some sort of winter Splatfest. You know, maybe something for Christmas even. I guess it could be related to Santa coming down the chimney somehow. I don't know, I'm just trying to think outside the box. But I really can't imagine what else this could possibly relate to. I guess there could be some other ideas, let me know your thoughts. But that very well could indicate the return of the Frosty Fest, another incredibly popular Splatfest event that we could see perhaps in January. I believe that's when it happened in Splatoon 2, so no, not actually in December, which is quite funny. But like I said, Nintendo might actually be aiming to change these up this time around. It really wouldn't surprise me if they didn't want to just repeat the same ones from Splatoon 2 and actually wanted to do something a bit different. Now, provided these events are similar to the ones from Splatoon 2, aka we do get a changed hub world, we also get lots of special new pieces of gear to collect, and overall, the game is decorated really well for the season, then honestly, I don't really mind if something like Frosty Fest doesn't return, if something interesting and new actually takes its place, because there are so many good ideas out there that could really work for something like this. We will actually be seeing a big run in December, so maybe it'll be the case once again that we might get a big run and a special Splatfest at the start of the chill season. That would certainly hype people up a lot, and it would be great for Nintendo given that it's the holiday season too. So personally, I think that's a very likely possibility and one that would definitely excite me quite a lot. That does make me wonder what we would see in November. Maybe it would just be a more normal Splatfest, I guess. After all, special Splatfests are supposed to be special, so if we got one in September, October, and November, that would be kind of a lot. So if we're going on these data mines that we've gone over so far, it seems like we would get one in October for a Splatoween type event, and then one either in December or January like Splatoon 2 for a Frosty Fest type event. But the data mines do not stop there, as we have more. Next we have Dumpling, and this one is a bit interesting. I think this one potentially could relate to New Year. I believe dumplings do have an association with the New Year, but again, this name might not actually have much of a tangential relation. It could literally just be a code name so Nintendo can keep the information more obscured, something that really wouldn't surprise me. But it would be incredibly exciting to see some kind of New Year's Splatfest. That does make me wonder though what would happen with the Frosty Fest type event if that's supposed to happen in January. When would the New Year's event take place? Right at the end of the year? People are usually really busy around that time of the year, so Nintendo tries to avoid doing that sort of thing, I feel like. But honestly, I feel like the majority of us would still play it and really enjoy it anyways, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Nintendo could be planning with that one potentially, if it is even related to the New Year's at all. Now, the final one that has been discovered is designated as Sweet, and I think it's fairly obvious that this one would represent Valentine's Day. Now, we did already get a Valentine's Day Splatfest in Splatoon 3, but of course this was not a special Splatfest, it was just a regular one, there was nothing special going on. So it would be really cool if this time around they actually make it really fancy, add in some cool new pieces of gear, decorate the maps and such for the event. That's what I would really like to see, just like we can come to expect from the Splatfests in Splatoon 2. Who knows, they might even decide to revisit the exact same theme, but I feel like Nintendo still has plenty of ideas with these. So I'm really excited to see what potential new themes and such they could come up with. I feel like there's a lot of great ideas to be had. If these data mines do come to pass and we do get the special Splatfest back in Splatoon 3, then honestly, I think the Drizzle season potentially could have contained some of the best updates we've ever seen. We just didn't really know it yet. If you didn't get to play any of these special Splatfests in Splatoon 2, then honestly you missed out. They were some of the best content we had gotten in the entire franchise, and the idea of potentially getting some brand new ones in Splatoon 3 honestly would increase my enjoyment of the game so much, and I really hope they do come to fruition. I'll keep you updated as we should know more by October hopefully if a Splatoween type event or just something for autumn is going to happen around then. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below though. Are you excited to see special Splatfests in Splatoon 3? If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Splatgang down below so I know you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for more.